Thanks for joining us. Of course, my name is William Evans. As usual, I told you that the Capital Market Shora Show is here to demystify lots of aspects, especially concerning finances. Now, today on the show, we bring you people with the national mandate of fostering the culture of saving. With me is the CEO of Rwanda National Investment Trust Limited, Mr. Jonathan Gatera. Most welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Very interesting mandate of fostering the culture of saving nationwide. Of course, that is across all ages and all categories of population. But before we get into the mandate, I want to understand where, let's begin from where this mandate begins from, but where this institution comes into play.
Thank you for having me, and I appreciate your time. Now, Rwanda National Investment Trust is a government-owned investment management company. It was established almost 10 years ago with a mandate with the main two missions. Let me call it mission because we are here to promote the culture of saving, but also to provide the venue or the vehicle through which people can save easily. So the culture of saving has been there in Rwanda, but in a modern way, we need to save for our development because we used to save for harvest when there is a crop harvest. We used to save just for any eventualities, but now we are focusing on saving for personal development, but also for the development of the country. So this culture is not yet institutionalized, let me say, because when you look at the ratio of savings to gross domestic product, GDP is still low, less than 14%. For a country like Rwanda, which wants to be a modern economy, we needed at least to be at around 30% of GDP. We are not yet there. And for NST2, our mandate is to double the ratio of savings, which is, if it is around 13, 14, we need to have it 28% of GDP by 2029. It's not an easy task, but we will be there. So, coming back to the mandate, RNIT, in brief, is just a government-owned institution which was there it was established to help people to have that culture of saving, but also to facilitate how people can save easily and get return on their investment, which is competitive, risk-free, and also which will benefit not only your own personal development, but will have a macro impact on our overall economic development of Rwanda.
Much appreciated, CEO. From what you've just shared, you highlight that the percentage of saving is still low. Of course, there's someone that will think part of the mandate is to foster the culture of saving.
Yes. So
if after 13 years, 10 plus years, it's still low, one might question if that has actually materialized. But we want to understand, of course, it's a journey. We understand it's a culture that is a lot of social behavior change, communication, dealing with people's habits and mindsets and all that. How has the mandate materialized this far? Of course, we might still have a long way to go, but there's also some good success. In the over 10 years that the institution has been here, what are some of the key things you look at and you're like, we moved from here and this is where we are, and we thank God?
Yeah, actually, the starting was not easy because mindset change is not easy.
The starting is actually always the hardest
part.
It's
the hardest part. However, look at the past records of last 3 to 4 years, we see there is a great change, especially after COVID. I'm sorry to say that COVID came with hardships, but also it taught us a lesson. Because people who had saved during that period were able to access their savings without cost, without hardship. Actually, they used to get it on a daily basis. Now, it at least uplifted their way of living. After COVID, we also intensified by doing a lot of road shows and media outlets for people to understand why saving should be actually part of our priorities. So that has materialized. When you look at the number of people who save with us, last year we were around 33,000 individuals. By end of May, there are around 40,000. That means within 5 months, we have had more than 7,000 new savers. And we had savings this year were only, the last 5 months, 21 billion, which is good. So when you look at the past 3 to 4 years, we see that there's that possibility of doubling the savings possible. And when you look also the annualized return, because what motivates people is to save your 2,000 francs and you get a benefit more than 11% of annualized return. You cannot get anywhere else more than 11% of interest on 2,000 francs.
You actually just read the letter inside the envelope. I was going to ask of the daily operations. Of course, it's a big mandate, very big mandate. When you're dealing with culture, as saving as a culture, it's really huge. One would wonder, what are your daily operations like? How do you go around this business on a daily?
On daily, actually, we have to reach out first. We usually organize field work. We'll go in the field, meet different groups of people, cooperatives, individuals, schools, and what have you. We carry out on a weekly basis those activities. But also we use media to do a lot of campaigns. But also we have digitalized our operations. So we have a team here which facilitates people who want to register or want to save, who want to check on their savings. So we on daily basis we are busy. We are busy interacting with the public. So our work is not in the office.
Yes.
It's to go out. Just last week I was in Rutsiro, then Rubavu. The previous week also I had gone. Nobody sits here in the office. So our work is out there. Either you are on a media like this or you are just on the field. And we meet with public.
You're out of office, you're in the field. We've met. I'm a first-time person who does not really care so much about saving. What sort of conversations do you have with Rwandans about saving?
Yeah, in the first place it becomes challenging because first of all, how you introduce yourself, people to have confidence in you. But on many occasions, we liaise, we work with the local administration. First of all, for them to understand, by the way, that what is it all about, the saving. So the local administration sometimes facilitates to mobilize people. We don't interfere with people's business. We find them where they are. And then we ask a local person there to help us to just introduce us. But the moment you introduce the product, people now become attentive and they don't want to stop. So I have noticed that at least people need to know, to have the information. Otherwise, if you sit here in town, here in Kigali in the office, they will never. So we need to get out of our comfort. We meet people there. If you talk to 5,000 people and the 20 accept the message, well and good. You don't feel discouraged. You go back, okay? Or maybe young people, mainly, they are the ones who you said we don't have what to save. No, saving is not because you have left something.
That's the conversation I want us to get into.
We need to get out of that misinformation or mystification that you save because you have leftovers. No, you save as a priority. So that's the message we usually take out. And so at first point, it becomes challenging. But of course, when they get to know the message, they want to join. Sometimes young people want to see if they are saved today, wants to see his savings on the statement. Okay, we are digitalizing our operations to make sure that whatever we say there, they immediately feature it. If you want to check on your statement, you get it. So there's a lot of work there, but the good news is that at least those who have at least joined the fund, they don't regret. That's why even see the number is increasing.
Yes. Of course, if I understand you well, you say that the message you're preaching is saving as a priority, not as a luxury, if I might put those words. Now let's look at the action now saving.
Yeah.
You've gone out, you've left office, you've gone to these districts, to these villages, have this conversation with these people, telling them we need to save as a priority, and this is ABCD. Now, how does someone join? What is the entry point?
Okay.
Is there a ceiling?
Actually, the entry point, the first thing is willingness.
Yes.
Second thing, if you have your ID, for those who have IDs. If you are less than 16 years, don't have ID, use your parents' ID. All right? So having an ID and willingness, that's the first entry point. Then, minimum 2,000 francs.
Wow.
I can imagine that 2,000 francs is not all that big amount that I'm sure even these people who are casual laborers can afford that. And when you just enter, your 2,000 francs will earn you the other interest rate I told you, 11.78%. Like one who put $1 million or $1 billion, they get the same return on investment. So that's the entry point. When you get there, if you can even register without paying the initial investment. You just star 589 and you put the other hash, and you can register. You have an account there. When you get money, you will simply save through the same channel, star 589 hash, and then you can log in. You check on the balance. You check on even if you want to save for somebody, you can do it. And things are made easier for young people, especially.
I feel 2,000 is quite well and affordable. I think the last I checked, an ordinary Rwandan survives over, was it $1 per day?
Yes.
It is very achievable. But CEO, let's look into some of the core, your core investment products.
Yes.
I've saved with you my 2,000,
yes.
let's say on a daily. I'm a young person from Kayonza,
yes.
Mukaranje. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I join, I save my 2,000. But I know, of course, as an investment trust, you have investment products, core products. What are some of these core products? Okay. And what is the benefit of saving? Because someone will hear, of course, saving. Why should I save my 2,000 with you instead of, let's say, Chibina somewhere or even other saving circles?
First of all, your money is safe. Okay? Because we are a government institution. And there is a way we are governed. Board of governance, appointed by the cabinet, board of trustees, appointed by members of the savers, the General Assembly. We have Auditor General. We have Capital Market Authority, which regulates us in terms of regulations and what have you. Then we have Central Bank as custodian and also regulator on fund management. So we are safe. That's the one. Second, we are very competitive in terms of return. I told you, whatever interest you earn is tax-free because government has subsidized. They said, no, if somebody saves his 2,000 with your product, let not him or her pay a tax on earned interest. So it is tax-free.
Many thanks, CEO, for being part of this conversation.
I appreciate your time, and they come again.
Thank you so very much. Of course, that is a capital market bridge, Shora, that is demystifying lots of conversations that are very beneficial. The message is very clear. Save as a priority. That is the only way to go. Of course, from me and the entire team, we wish you good luck. See you next time. William Evans is my name. Goodbye.